I've been miserable for the last 8 years of my life.
Society wants women, especially mothers, to suffer in silence. This specific creator has come on my For You page 2 times now, discussing women's experiences. Experiences he doesn't actually relate with, he can't cognitively empathize with. He will never be a mother. When I notice that men are constantly discussing women's issues, I get the sense that they can't actually keep up with men. They actually fear having smoke with men. One of his beliefs is not everything should be shared on the internet. And this sentiment actually silences women. I don't agree with it. Women come on social media sharing their experiences, which most times are not unique to them. So by them sharing it, they may be mindful that it can be relatable for different women, right? If you actually listen to women, aside from social media, in real life, and you hold space for women, you actually hold space for women. And you don't put on this performative show like you actually care about kids, because if you did, you wouldn't be criticizing their mother. You would uplift her. That's why it seems performative. If you actually held space for mothers, you would hear that this is not new. The sentiment that women, after having children at some point in their lives, they feel some regret of having children. Essentially, when people tell women not to share their experiences, they are telling women how to cope with a tough situation that they're not currently in. They don't have the same experiences, even if you are a mother. Not everyone has the same education level, the same support system, the same amount of self-esteem. This man really annoyed me because it's too much when a woman shares her experience. But it's not too much when he inserts himself and goes asking her critical questions that would lead to a person feeling shame and criticized. I care so much about the child and how it would affect the child. But how you treat mothers affects their ability to parent. Now, personally, aside from social media, some ways you can show up for mothers is holding space for them, allowing them to have the tough conversations without judgment. Those critical questions, inserting yourself, that's judgment. Asking if they need anything. Do you need anything? There's a man who I follow, and he also follows me. When the whole conversation about school supplies came up, he offered to buy school supplies for women. That's actual care. That's actually showing up. It wasn't performative. When I have conversations about supporting women, showing up for mothers, it's not just on social media. I do this shit in real life. Holding space for women. I've sat with women in person where they felt safe enough to share with me that they had the regret of having children. When mothers were struggling, even when I lived across the country from my family and friends, the mothers in my life, I showed up for them. My friend got sick with COVID. Her husband was traveling for business and couldn't get home in time. I took a flight and went and took care of her kids. Showing up for her. Asking mothers if they need anything. Giving mothers a break. Holding space. That is free. Holding space, being supportive, validating their experiences, that all comes free. Of course, you don't have to do it. You can just sit on the internet and criticize mothers. You will never be a mother. You'll never have similar experiences as women while being critical of women and how they cope with their life experiences. I have used my platform to support 2 different mothers who were struggling, donating money, my own money. And I'm not sharing that because I feel superior, but to lead by example, that there are ways to show up for women who are struggling.
Can we all be in agreement that being a mother, it's not a child's play? Can we be in agreement today? Can y'all just raise up your hand? Like, even though you are not agreeing to that statement, go down there in the comment section and let us know why you do not think being a mother, it's not a child's play. Let us know if you are a mother yourself, and if you think being a mother, it's easy peasy for you. Educate us. How are you doing it for you to think it's not? But some women are coming out here and they are voicing out. Why is it so hard for these women to be, for people to understand the women that are coming out? I am going to be rolling your clips. Credit to the creators for giving us this opportunity to have our comment. Go down there, have your comment. Let's make this fun, educational, and interesting. I'm going to roll you this guy that came out for him to get the respond of the women. Let's throw the tapes, then we had more commentary at the end of it.
3-minute and 11-second video of a woman saying how much she hates and regrets being a mom. She literally starts the video off with, "I'm a single mom with an 8-year-old, and I've been miserable for the last 8 years of my life." That's how she starts the video, and then goes on to a detailed, vivid description of why she hates being a mom, why she regrets it. She's never been happy being a mom. She wishes that she could go back. If she could do things different, she would. She's telling people never have kids. She never had a village. Just going on this outrage of why she hates being a mom. She ends the video with saying, "Don't be a mom, whether you're married or not. It is not worth it. Don't do it." Ends the video. Now, the first question that popped up in my mind, I needed to ask her, because it wasn't for nobody else. It was for her. So I go in the comments, and I don't dance in the comments much, babe. I don't. I ask, your son's 8 years old, right? How is your 8-year-old son supposed to feel when someone brings him a video, flips it in his face, and it's his mom going on a 3-minute and 11-second rant saying how much she hated being his mom, how much she regretted it, how much she wishes she could do it, how much she's telling other people don't do it, how much she's telling people that because she had you, it ruined her life and she was never able to do anything. She's been miserable for the last 8 years of her life. How is a young boy supposed to digest that coming from his mom? Because you're putting it out into the world. You don't think that it's going to circle back around to him? It is, if it hasn't already. So that was my question. So when I post my question, of course, people started liking it. A lot of comments started coming in under it, and she deletes the comment. Eventually, she deletes the video in its entirety because she started to see that those comments were starting to outweigh the likes. You know, when people start seeing that the comments is outweighing the likes, people start saying, "Oh, okay, this video is not going how I expected it to go." Eventually, she deleted the video and then blocked me. But the question still stands: how is your son supposed to feel about this? And also, if you're feeling this strongly about your son and about you having your son, I'm curious about what is the quality of his life at home. There's a lot of questions after seeing this video of you saying how much disdain and resentment you have. These are words that she used. Disdain and resentment that you have that you have a child. How is your 8-year-old son supposed to feel when someone brings him a video?
So the question posed, right? How's that kid gonna feel if and when he sees this video? Hopefully it gives him a different perspective on why his mother was the way she was as he was being raised. It'll just give him a broader perspective it'll give him an answer of why, right? And I hope that she's having conversations with him. And he's 8 years old, so I assume that he's old enough to help out around the house as well. But let a mom vent, let a mom rant, okay? I feel like saying that being a mom is hard downplays how hard it is to actually be a mom. There's so much that goes into it. So I didn't see the video that OP is originally talking about, like the recap of the video. But from what you're saying in this video, I totally get it. It's valid. Her feelings are valid. And that kid's feelings in the future, if and when he ever sees this video, are valid. Two things can be true, right? And it may also have this kid questioning, okay, well, where is my dad? Where's my dad? Where's my dad been this whole time? If my mom was having such a hard time, maybe she needed a break and she could never get it. Because as he said in this video, she says she doesn't have a village. Maybe she needed a break and could never get it. Well, where is my dad? Everyone always wants to put all this hatred on the mother, but the dads are never around. Where are the dads? Where are the dads? At least I can be like, hey, this is too much. Mommy needs a break. And when dad comes home, I'm leaving the house for 15 minutes. So, yeah, this kid's gonna have him and his mom are gonna need to have those conversations. I already know that me and my kids are gonna have those conversations because it's too much. Being a mom is far too much. And I was like, women have been having children since the dawn of time. There have always been mothers. I can be a mother. If I knew then what I knew now, I would not have kids. I would not. This shit is not it's not easy. It's not like, oh, let me just hold my baby. Cute and cuddly. Oh, you're so cute. Let me dress you up. No. Sometimes they're neurodivergent. They have feeling. Even if they're not neurodivergent, they're tiny humans. They're tiny humans. And they're complicated. Motherhood is complicated. It's very complex. So to wrap this up, yeah, they're going to need to talk. They're going to need to communicate about what's going on. They might need therapy, but that's on them. I have no doubt that this child is most likely very well loved, very well taken care of, because that's what moms do. It's hard. We bottle all of our frustration, all the negativity of being a mom. We bottle it up, and then something happens, and it might be so minute and minuscule, and finally we have a second alone, and it's like, hey, that box, it's opening now. And all of it just pours out, and you're crying. I made 2 videos yesterday, post a mom crash out. And that's probably what happened. Let this mom vent. Let her vent. And my advice would be to leave moms alone unless you're offering us some type of help. Financial, babysitting, maybe we need food in the fridge. Unless you're offering us some type of help, leave us alone. And make sure the help is the help that we can actually use. Don't come over here being like, oh, this is how you should raise your child. No, I'm raising my child just fine. I need a babysitter. So leave moms alone unless you're offering us help.
Okay, so I'm going to try my best to be thorough with this response. So this previous video that I stitched is of this man saying that he just saw a video of a mother taking her whole 3 minutes of the video saying how much she hates being a mother. She has an 8-year-old son, and apparently in this video, I have not seen the video that he's referring to, but apparently in this video, she talks about how her son is 8 years old and she has hated being a mother since she basically gave birth to her son. Now, he goes on to say she has used the words hate, disdain, regret, all of that, right? And I wanted to come here and say that as a human being, and then as a woman, and then as a mother, there is duality in all of these roles, right? So as a parent myself, like I said, I didn't watch the video, so I don't know exactly what she says. When I was reading the comments, it didn't say that she says she hates her son or hates her child. She says she hates being a mother, regrets being a mother. Now, like I said, there's a duality in certain roles that you have as a human being. As a woman and then as a mother, sometimes I do regret being a mother. That is the hard, untold truth. It does not make me or change the way I love my child. My child was brought here not by choice. So I understand that me sometimes admitting and feeling like, oh, well, maybe this wasn't a choice that I would have taken at the time, or maybe there are times that I could have went a different way. The reality of the situation is the child is here now, and I'm going to continue to fulfill my duty and responsibility as a mother. I'm also going to step out and advocate for this mom who obviously, if she has continued her role as a mother for the 8 years of that child, she has not left her position or abandoning her position as a mother. Now, we could also say we don't know what's going on in that household. I would like to be more productive and positive with the side of, if this woman who came on here and just wanted to vent her truth about what she feels like her experience about being a mother has been, I'm just going to try to stay positive and say that she's obviously still fulfilling her role as a mother, because if not, maybe there would have been a different video of how she then goes on to say, I regret being a mother, so I gave up my child. I didn't see the video, and it's not, he didn't say that she said that. So I'm just going to err on the side of caution to say that this mom used her platform to voice a very harsh reality that at one point you can hate being a mother or regret being a mother while still being a very good parent, mother, and love your child. That is the duality of that role as a parent. I'm coming to say that I have experienced that sometimes, that feeling. And then I want to go on to answer your question of, he says, how is it supposed to make that child feel? Well, I mean, right now, that child is 8. I don't know if this child has a TikTok, and I don't know if this child is on his mother's page listening to that video. So like I said before, I'm going to err on the side of caution and say that that child is not consuming that video of which this mother put out her opinion. Not knowing all the information, my goal for replying to this is to let's normalize that there can be duality in any role. And especially being a parent, it is very hard. At every waking moment, you are responsible for a person. And while I can also accept that responsibility, I could also sometimes hate it. So I hope that helps in the small context of what we have for this video. But yeah, it's called duality, babes. So have a good day.
Some men just don't get it. Some can never get it. Isn't it rich for this guy to think that he got to have a say on this woman coming online to just talk about herself, to talk about how she's feeling? Some men think being a mother is a child's play. And some men think you being a mother, that's the only thing you gotta do, just being a mother. And some think, not all men, y'all know we've talked about this before, that not all men, but some men actually think the only job for that woman is to be her mother. And she has nothing to say, nothing to complain. And this is how we have a lot of women suffering in silence because of that kind of a guy that's not giving that woman the opportunity just to vent, just to rant, just to come out and say, I need help. You do not know, maybe after the lady finished saying what she said, maybe she felt better. Maybe somebody saw her like, okay, she need to be checked. You know what I mean? But imagine a lot of women suffering in silence. Just do not want to speak out, even at home, because of a guy like that. I don't know how y'all feel, but I just love the way the women online came and just said, hold up, brother, you do not know the feeling of a woman. Being a mother is not a child's play. Of course, the mom love their children, but sometimes they need a break. And when they ask for that break, it is the responsibility of that man to give it to that woman. Even before she asks for the break, I believe you are the father and she's a mom, and if she says she needs a break, or even if she's not saying it, you should be able to give her the break. I'm going to leave y'all with this next clip. I want y'all to listen to it for y'all to know that not all mothers really want to be a mother, right? And not because they do not like kids, but some just do not have the energy for it. They love having kids, but when they just realize and think about the tax, they just decided to be by themselves. I am going to leave y'all with this next one, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one. I appreciate y'all. Bye for now.
I'm gonna say something very controversial, but motherhood is a scam. Too many women have been lied to and deceived by society about motherhood. Everyone is celebrating being a mother, it's secret, it's divine, but no one has told women how hard motherhood actually is. I'm not a mom, but I'm a daughter and a friend to many other women. I have seen my own mother and a lot of my other girlfriends sacrifice their lives to motherhood. So my best friend just had a daughter 2 months ago, and she told me, Jessie, I know you don't want kids. If that's your plan, plan, stick to it. Don't change your mind. And mind you, my friend actually got support. So when the baby was born, for the first month, she got a nanny living with them, taking care of the baby 24/7. She didn't have to lift a finger except for feeding the baby. And now her husband's parents are living with them, cleaning, cooking. She doesn't need to do much, but still she told me it's exhausting and her body is starting to have all the low problems. And not even to mention she lost a great career opportunity because of this. So my friend works in this big Chinese company, top tier in the industry. Her boss really values her because my friend is really good at what she does and she's ambitious. So her boss wants to send her to the US to manage the North American business. So she only needs to stay in the US for 2 to 3 years and then return back to China. Immediate promotion to higher leadership position. So basically the rest of her life is set. You know, you don't need to work hard anymore. You can just lay back, chill, great money. Easy life. And now all of that is gone because you can't just leave your newborn baby and go to the US. And my friend told me her daughter is the best thing ever happened to her. She loves her so much. She wouldn't trade anything in the world with her daughter like all the other mothers. But still, she told me, you know what, being child free is kind of nice.